Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So this is going to be my December reset. I have not done a reset video since September, so I'm very excited. I think this will also be the first video you're seeing from me since my little YouTube hiatus. That's a bit dramatic, but I haven't posted in a few months, so I'm sorry. I haven't posted in a little while, and you guys haven't really seen anything from me. If you don't follow my bookstagram, then you wouldn't have really heard from me. And I apologize, I've just been really busy and I did get in a really big book slump, but I think I'll be out of it soon. And I really want to start posting again. I have so many videos planned, especially for December. I'm on a break now for a few months, so I have time and I'm going to be back to posting. Hopefully a lot. Hopefully I'll be doing a lot of reading and posting a lot. I feel like the end of the year, December time is always a really exciting, fun time in like the book community. We get to do a wrap up of all the books we read. We get to set up for the new year and all the books we want to read next year. And it's also bookmas time, which I've been loving. I've been loving watching all of my favorite booktubers bookmas videos. I didn't do it this year because I've been in a slump. I wasn't really prepared for it, but I will hopefully be posting a lot in December, more than I would in other months. So yeah, but we should just get into our December reset. So the first thing we're gonna do, the first thing we're gonna do is my reading journal, which I think in most of my resets I do the reading journal last, but I feel like doing it first this time around because I'm just excited for it. I have actually already done it. I did it the past 2 days and I'm just really excited to show you guys, so I'm gonna put it in the first part of this video. I hadn't done a monthly spread, like a proper one, since September, so I was really excited. I was a little nervous because I hadn't really used my creative juices for a little while, but I'm really happy with how it turned out, so I hope you guys like it. I'll talk more about it after you guys see the footage of me creating it, but yeah, let's get into my reading journal. Okay, our reading journal spread for December is finished and I'm obsessed with it. So let's talk a little about what I did. I won't talk too much because I feel like there's not a lot to be said. I've been really into gingham lately. I've had a big obsession with it. I'm not sure where it's come from. Maybe like the twee aesthetic I've been seeing a lot and I want to be a part of has inspired it. I'm really obsessed specifically with the red gingham. I think I have 3 items of clothing now with that pattern and I wanted to incorporate that, but I thought doing red would be a bit too much. I didn't really want to do a Christmas themed spread. I wanted to do something that I would do any year, not any year, I would do any month, but to have a little like, I'm not explaining this very well. What I'm trying to say is I didn't want to do a Christmas themed spread. I just wanted to do something really cute. I feel like Christmas stuff is only cute around Christmas time. This is a little vain. It's not vain, but I didn't really want to post something really Christmassy on my Instagram spread, on my bookstagram, and I always post my spreads and I didn't want something really Christmassy there. I don't know, I just like having my spreads be cohesive. I like my page being cohesive. So I mean, that's not really a big reason why I did this. I just wanted to do a spread that wasn't Christmassy, but also that was super cute. So I feel like the gingham brings a little bit of festiveness. Not really. Anyways, so this first page is inspired by a painting I did. I did this painting this year. I think this is the only painting I finished this year. And it's one of my favorite paintings. I really like it. And for some reason, I felt inspired to do something like it. I had this leftover gingham from the letters. And I was like, oh, I could make this a tablecloth. Oh, I could make the page replicate my painting, but like a little differently. I did the vase with flowers and the bow and the books and the candle. I wanted the flowers to be more like childlike drawing, not very put together, and kind of has like a crayon look with like the scribbling. I've been seeing a lot of art on Pinterest that looks like that and I really like how it turned out. It turned out better than I expected, to be honest. And I feel like that sort of drawing goes well with this type of spread. I also did a little Easter egg on this plate. I have donuts that say happy birthday, which I just printed off Pinterest. And that's for my birthday because it is my birthday month. And this year I'm not really doing a lot for my birthday. I kind of make my birthday a big deal, but I feel like as the years have gone by, I've made it less of a big deal because I feel like I put a little pressure on myself. Anyways, I didn't want to make it a big deal this year, but I wanted to put something little to like celebrate, I guess. And I put a little star next to my birthday. I did the reading tracker like always. I put this, it kind of looks like a crayon, but it's supposed to be a book that says reading tracker. I used these star and gemstone stickers that I actually got, well, my sister got them for me for the Matt Maltese concert I went to last month. I put the star stickers on my face, and as soon as I got them, I was like, I could use these for my journal after the concert, so I had to use them straight away. And I feel like it really goes with the theme. I love the colors. I'm overall so happy with this spread, and I feel like it just suits me for some reason. I don't know if that sounds weird. Anyways, moving on. Oh, for my TBR, I decided to do a little book. I feel like there's kind of like a reading theme going on. I mean, it's my reading journal, but I put some books in and stuff, so I decided to do a little book. I'm not loving how it turned out, but I still think it's cute. It goes with everything. And then my books red spread, this one I didn't put a lot of effort into, I'll be honest. I wasn't really sure what to do. This spread is always hard for me because a lot of the page is going to be taken up by pictures, so it's hard to really add anything else, and usually I don't like how they look anyways. I'll show you an example. In September I decided to go all out and make it like really pretty, but then it left me not a lot of room for the books, and then the books just have the words and it doesn't really look pretty, but I don't know how else to format it. Maybe I'll have to change it up next year. But see, like this one, it just looks so boring, but oh well, it's okay. I'll definitely have to come up with a new idea for displaying the books I read each month in the new year, which I will have a video of me setting up my journal for 2025, and I will be continuing in this journal because I still have a lot of pages left. But yeah, that is coming, so look out for that. When should I post that? Probably next year, the start of next year. But yeah, with this spread I just did the same thing. I did the letters in gingham and then the flowers, and that's pretty much it with the stickers. Nothing special. This is the star of the show and I'm really happy with it, like I mentioned. So oh, I'll also show you my wrap up spread. I decided to do a wrap up cottage house for, I think I did it for September and October because that's when I was in my slump and I did some reading but nothing really notable. I guess we can talk about the books, but I did do a cottage spread because I missed doing them, and I felt like doing one for the 2 months. I felt like I was like starting fresh by doing it, like I could wrap up what I'd read in those months where I was in a slump, and then we could start fresh with the next month. Or I guess I skipped November, which I read. What did I read in November? I don't know. So we have my wrap up cottage. I really like this cottage. We have a button detail on the door and on the window, which I really liked. It kind of has like a more whimsical vibe. The colors are very fun. Yeah, it's very like similar to all my other cottages, but I thought it was really cute. I also like this detail with the, what's it called, steam? Is it steam that comes out of the chimney? Smoke comes out of the chimney. But we'll open the doors. So we have, in this door we have the format. So I had 1 library book, 4 Kindle books and 1 paperback. And in this one we had the amount of books I read, which was 6. And then in this one we had the pages, which was 1,798. So we'll go over the books I read. We won't talk really about them. Sorry, this bow's annoying me. So I'll be honest. Actually, I'll get to that later. Okay, so we have the 7 Year Sleep. I did DNF this book. This was before my reading slump. I have a video coming out where I'll talk about that book, so if you want to hear why I DNF'd it and such, that will be coming soon. We have Love is War Volume 7. They're both the same color. They have a theme we like. Anyways, in October I read the Campus Games series by Stephanie Alves. This is kind of hard to explain, but I think I wanted something. I was in my slump, I wasn't doing any reading, and I wanted something easy to read, and I had one of these books, I think Truth or Dare, in my Kindle library, and I wasn't reading it properly. I was like skimming it to get to like the good parts. Like I was skipping like the introduction. The characters are just talking about their everyday life and stuff. I just skipped it and was getting to the more interesting parts in a romance book and kind of skimming through it. Once I got, I think like 30 to 40%, I started reading it like more properly. There were some parts I still skipped. Throughout the rest of the book, I read it like an actual book, like I wasn't skimming it. And I was like, I really enjoyed this. So I then went, what book did I go to next? I then went to Spin the Bottle, and then I was reading it. I think I was skimming it too. I was skimming this one too. I enjoyed this one. And then I went to Never Have I Ever. I was reading this one more properly, like 90% reading it properly, 10% skimming. And then I read Would You Rather, which I read properly. I read the whole book properly, how you read a book, not skimming it. And this was probably my favorite of the series. That might be because I read it properly, but I also just really liked the dynamic and the characters. Then after that, I went back to Spin the Bottle and I read it properly. Like not all throughout, but I like read the bits that I kind of skipped and got like the full story, I guess. So I was very much all over the place. For my favorite books each month, I put in October Love is War, which I kind of had to put this book because I DNF'd the 7 Year Sleep, so I didn't have another choice. I mean, this volume I actually didn't like as much as the others because of some stuff that happened, which I didn't remember that because it's hard to remember which volume I like how much. But I looked at my review. My review was not happy. I mean, it wasn't very lengthy, but it was just one thing I was commenting on. But I do like the series, so I wasn't that upset about having to put it there in my favorite books each month. And then Would You Rather was my favorite. I didn't rate the books from the series because I didn't really know how to rate them, and I wasn't putting too much pressure or thought into them. I was just reading something to read it because I felt like it, and I wasn't like, what would I rate this book? Like I wasn't even giving them my full time, you know, like I wasn't reading them properly, so it didn't really make sense to rate them, and I was in a weird place with the not reading. So, but we're in a tricky spot with November. I think I read 2 Love is War volumes in November, and I don't want to put another one for my favorite, but I'm gonna have to because I can't leave it blank. Or maybe I could cheat the system and put one of my December favorites there as well, because I'm planning to read a lot in December, so surely I'm gonna have 2 that I really like that I could put in both. Moving on, I think that's all for my wrap up. Like I said, in November I think I read I might have read volume 8, 9 and 10. Okay, I think we're done with my reading journal and my wrap up, so let's get into my TBR. I have a very big TBR for December, but I'm not planning to read all of the books. Some of the books I really want to read and will make it a priority to read these books. Other books are books I'm going to be choosing from. These are all the physical books I have. Others I don't have yet and I'm planning to get them. So let's just go through it, obviously. Firstly, we have Always Only You by Chloe Lease, which is a reread for me. I am like 70% into this book. I'm planning to finish it today, actually. I don't have much to say about this book except that you should read it. It's a romance book. It's a hockey romance with representation for autism. And sorry, I just ran out of storage. But as I was saying, I love Chloe Lease's books. They always have amazing representation in the way she writes about it and writes romance books. They're always so sweet, especially this one in particular. Ren, our male main character, is the sweetest man. He's such a cinnamon roll, and it's been so nice to reread this book. This is the first book I've actually ever reread, so I was a little nervous, but I've been having a great time. But yeah, this is like technically the first book on my TBR, even though I've already read a lot of it. Then we have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I am also 50% into this book, but I stopped reading. I started it in September and stopped because I got into a slump. It wasn't caused by this book, it was caused by other things. The reading slump, I think, was meant to happen and it just did. But I'm definitely planning to get back to it. I was really enjoying it and I've been anticipating this series for so long, so I'm sad I got into a slump when I decided to finally pick up this book. It was very much bad timing, but sorry, I was checking if my Christmas tree lights were on. But I'm really excited to get back into it. Then we have Travis by Mia Sheridan. This is a short romance book. This follows Archer's Voice, which I love. That book, so many people do. Another book I highly recommend. And I've been really wanting to read other books by this author, and this book came out I think this year, and I'm really intrigued to read this romance book. This book follows Travis, who was a very unlikable character in Archer's Voice, but apparently he gets a very good redemption arc, so I'm very excited. It's also short. I always love a short book and I'm intrigued to see where this goes. And then we have Babel by R.F. Kuang, a book I'm terrified to read, but due to circumstances, I have to read it. You guys will find out those circumstances soon, hopefully, but it is time for me to read it. I've had this book for a while. It is a very popular book, especially this author is very well loved. The reason I'm so scared is because this book seems so smart to me. It feels like it's going to be a difficult time for me to understand, and it's going to be a long read, so I've been really scared. And I also don't really know what to expect from it. Like, I don't really know much about it at all. But I'm also like kind of excited, and I feel like it'll be a flex to be like, yeah, I read Babel. I had profound thoughts while reading this book. I know things you don't. It will feel like I've accomplished something, I guess, but I've been very nervous for this book. I really do want to read it just to know what the book is about, what it's like. It's giving kind of dark academia vibes, maybe just because I think it's set at a university and they seem super smart. It's set in the 1800s. I'm scared but excited at the same time, so I'll be reading this month. I will be reading it. It's also long, it's like 500 pages. Then we have some books that are on my 2024 TBR. I did not read a lot of books from that TBR this year, but I am gonna try and take some off in the last month. We'll see how I go. So we have Anatomy, which has been in a few of my TBRs this year, I think. It is like a romance murder mystery. It's set in the 1800s as well, and it says it's like a gothic mystery romance. This was more popular I think last year, and I've mentioned this a few times, but some of the books on my TBR aren't really popular anymore, so I don't reach for them. I'm more leaning towards books that are popular right now, which is silly because I should just be reading the books I have and not just searching for new books that are coming out, because these books have aged a year. It doesn't make them not as exciting anymore. There's still amazing books I have here, maybe I've had for 2 years, but I'm just leaning towards books that are newer. And I need to stop that mindset because I've done it so much this year specifically, and it's just silly because I have picked up some books that have been in my TBR for a really long time and I've loved them, and I'm like, why did I wait to read them? Anywho, this is one of those books and we're gonna get to it. I think Katie's Reading really loved this book. One of my friends on bookstagram also recently read it and really liked it, and she went on to read the second one. I think there's 2 books in the series, so that's like revamped my interest and my want to read it. We're gonna hopefully read it. And then we have Rouge, I think is how you pronounce the book, Rouge I think so, by Mona Award. Mona Award is a very conflicting author for a lot of people. Some people love her books, some people don't. I think her books are known to be very weird. Her like most popular one I think is Bunny, which was really popular and very conflicting with a lot of people. Some people loved it, some people didn't like it. I think this book came out either this year or last year, and this book has intrigued me the most. Out of the other ones she's published, this one has intrigued me the most. I think it's a fairy tale retelling. I think it's supposed to be gothic, a little scary, hopefully not too scary, and just weird, and it just looks really good. I'll be honest, most of the reason why I got it is because of the cover. That's what really intrigued me. It sounds like a really good book. From all I know, that it's a gothic fairy tale retelling. I do love me a fairy tale retelling, and I just really want to dive into one of her books, and I feel a little left out because I haven't read one of her books yet, and a lot of my friends on Instagram really love her books, so I'm very excited. Then we have some books that I don't own yet. I'm planning to get this month. Some of them I might get as a gift, and if not, then I will go out and buy these books. So I'm just gonna list them off. I won't say too much about them. So the other books on my 2024 TBR are A Study in Drowning, which I wanted to read for so long, and The Library of Shadows. These two books in my head, they're like the same for some reason. Like I always think of them together. I don't know why. Maybe they're similar covers, and I think they were popular at the same time. Especially The Library of Shadows I really want to read because I think the male main character is a ghost, and that really intrigues me. I think they're both like dark academia or more like academia romance fantasy books. I think they just really intrigue me, and I've been wanting to read them for so long, but I don't have them, and so I'm planning to read them. And then also Crying in H Mart, I really want to read. I've been wanting to read that book for so long. It's a non-fiction book. I think it's a memoir. It will be, if I do read it, it will be the only non-fiction I've read this year, which is a bit of a flop for me because I wanted to read more non-fiction this year, which didn't happen unfortunately, but I will hopefully be reading it in December. And then two books which aren't on my 2024 TBR books that I really want to read, and they're very much a maybe. I don't know if I'll be able to get to them, but I want to read them so bad, is Kingdom of the Feared, which is the third book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series, which I read this year. I read the first and second book this year and I loved them. I've loved the series so much so far, and I really want to read the last book in the series. And I also read the second book, what's the month before September? Maybe in August I think I read it, and some of my memory of it is slipping a little. I don't remember exactly what happened. Well, I do, but I feel like there's a lot of little details, and I want to make sure I read the last book before I forget a lot of it. And then also Play Along, which is the third book in the, no, it's the fourth book in the Windy City series, which I've really wanted to read as well, but I haven't been able to get my hands on it yet. But I desperately want to read it. So those are all the books on my December TBR. It is a big one, but like I said, I'm not planning to read all of them. Some of them I'm going to be choosing from. I also have a lot of reading vlogs planned, so I wanted a variety of books to choose from to read in those videos. And yeah, I think that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really missed doing this, making YouTube videos. It hasn't been that long at all. It's been maybe 2 or 3 months, but it feels like a long time, and I missed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please let me know. Please subscribe, like, and comment. I love interacting with you guys, talking to you guys. Let me know what you're planning to read in December. Let me know your favorite book from November. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye!